Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today we're going to be taking a look at the best free agents to sign in January. There are some big names on this list. We're going to be looking through all their stats on SofaScore. Of course, check out their app link in the description below. But anyway, let's dive in. Get involved with any names that I've missed out on. But there are some big names with their contracts expiring at the end of this season, which they'll be free to talk to clubs on a Bosman in January. The biggest one. Kylian Mbappé, linked heavily to a move to his beloved Real Madrid to link up with Karim Benzema. And I feel like that is something that pretty much has always happened. There's a lack of, talk from Mbappe's camp at wanting to continue at PSG. I think PSG have got to get to a point as well and think, does Kylian want to be involved in the project and so forth? This season, in the Champions League, 1 goal in 4 games with 3 assists, showing a little bit more of a creative part to his game. In Liga, 5 goals and 4 assists in 11. Not too bad, but by his own high standards. Last season in Liga, scored 27 goals and got 7 assists in 31 games. Was a little bit more clinical in front of goal. I think there's another level to Mbappe, and maybe he's playing within himself at the moment because he's eyeing that big move to Real Madrid. But last season's Champions League, talking caliber of player, 8 goals and 2 assists in 10 games, and that hat-trick against Barcelona. Real Madrid fans, if he were to sign for Real Madrid, would be, something he's done before. He's gone against Barcelona and he's grabbed himself a hat-trick. But that'll be a big move to start things off. Let's move forward to some more players available on free transfers at the end of the season. I think another big one is Paul Pogba, free to negotiate with clubs in January. Season started in a fantastic way with 4 assists against Leeds United, and arguably Paul Pogba's best position. 4 assists, 5 chances created, playing from the left wing. Paul Pogba's always been a player that's been an enigma for Manchester United. Never ever got the best out of Paul Pogba. I think that's got to put into question Paul Pogba as a player. I think the side of Paul Pogba, his decision making, his awareness at times, his need and want to take people on over and over again and embarrass them, I think is holding his game back. And I think with his vision and his ability to pass, there is a top quality footballer in there, averaging nearly 8 progressive passes per game, 2.2 passes into the penalty area, 0.2 expected assists per 90 in the Premier League, elite level numbers. But it's kind of what is Paul Pogba and where would it suit him? Would it suit Paul Pogba being at Real Madrid with Kylian Mbappé, with Camavinga, with Casemiro, with Valverde, some real ball winners? Probably. It would. But those levels of Paul Pogba is a big thing for, if he were to leave, and if he is a free agent in January, he can talk to clubs. Another Frenchman making our list of players available in January, Uzman Dembele. Another superstar that hasn't quite hit the lights in recent years. Injuries have been a massive problem for Ousmane Dembele, but he's averaged 0.68 goals or assists per 90 across his career. They are sensational numbers. Very good on the left, very good on the right, very dynamic. And I think the issue for Dembele is we've got to kind of look back a few years for a consistent season. We've probably got to go back to the Bundesliga to have his last consistent season. In the Bundesliga, 12 assists and 6 goals in 32 games in the 16-17 season. And that's where the big problem with Dembele has been, that ability to be fit for an entire year. But has that kind of ambidextrous style, can shoot with his left, can shoot with his right, is so dynamic, was regarded as one of the best players on the planet at that point. Barcelona signed him ahead of Kylian Mbappé back in the day. There is quality there is talent there. His next move is going to be massively important. Next up, Jesse Lingard, another free agent available in January. I think when we take a look about his Premier League tenure at West Ham United, superb run in the West Ham team. Goals and assists, so important going forward. And I feel like for Jesse, it is about him playing football now. It's him feeling like he's a big part of a team. I think he felt like that at West Ham United. West Ham is the team for Jesse right now. David Moyes is the manager for Jesse right now. Declan Rice is the teammate. his captain right now, and I feel that's where, he's got to look at those types of reasons to move. Performances against Leicester City, absolutely sublime. 2 goals from 3 shots. Great counter-attacking player, and I think that is why West Ham or a team would want Jesse to play on the break, to play when there's space to attack. Let's move forward to some more free agents. Next up, we've got Frank Kessie from AC Milan. Lots of Premier League interest because stylistically, is very much a box-to-box midfielder, would work in a number of different systems, but would excel in a double pivot. Yes, Manchester United, a double pivot. Works really well in terms of his box-to-box nature, tackles, wins the ball back, but also adds goals. Last season in Serie A, 13 goals, 4 assists in 37 games. But you've got that kind of all-round nature of a box-to-box midfielder. I'd put him up there with the Goretzka in terms of his quality. Completed 89% of his passes, 93% in his own half. Tackles, interceptions, pressing moments, dribbles. Frank Kessie, very much an all-rounded central midfielder, available on a free transfer in January. A lot of top clubs, including Antonio Conte's Tottenham, interested. Let's continue through to more players in the Premier League. Or jump back to the Premier League. Rudiger. Anthony Rudiger, available on a free transfer, linked heavily with a move to Bayern Munich. Very comfortable in a back 4, very comfortable in a back 3. Look better in a back 3 with Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel. He's kind of the number 1 for me. I think he's first choice. When he plays, Chelsea look very, very good. Not only has he got the ability to grab a goal from a corner, can drive out the back to start attacks, to link with teammates, but grab goals as well. He's a player that has that ability to really, really change things from, driving forward. But defensively, Chelsea have been very, very good. They've conceded, only a handful of goals with Rudiger at the back. Chelsea only 3 goals conceded in the Premier League this season, which is an absolute outstanding record. Chelsea conceded just 4 goals in their victorious UCL campaign with Rudiger at centre-back, which is one of the best defensive records in the tournament. And I think there's a lot of different clubs that be interested in Rudiger. Chelsea are massively interested in re-signing Rudiger, but also looking at someone like Bayern Munich, Julian Nagelsmann, flipping to a back 3 in possession, I think could be a really interesting slot. Let's fly through one last massive name that is available on a free transfer. Paulo Dybala, Juventus. The perfect 10 against Zenit St. Petersburg. 2 goals and an assist. A whopping 9 shots on goal. 4 dribbles completed. 3 chances created. Max Allegri wants to hold on to this man. When you look at his numbers, 110 goals plus assists in 151 starts in the league for Juventus would be a sensational signing to either play as a second striker, to play as a false 9. I think there's a lot of options for someone like Dybala in the team. There's loads of iterations that you could have with him, but I think he's played his best football when behind a striker as a second striker. I think that's where you're looking at his top level, but contract expiring in June 2022. Some notable mentions that we haven't mentioned. Denis Zakaria is in there. Andreas Christensen, Brozovic, Insigne, Nicolas Schuler, Romagnoli, Luis Suarez, Florian Grilic, Aspilicueta, Divock Origi. So many names. But guys, you want to stay up to date with all this? SofaScore is the place to be, where you can dive in. You can have a look at Paulo Dybala's heat map. Thanks for watching, guys. Get into the comments. Which player do you want your club to sign? Are there any names that I've missed out? Some superstars that are going for nothing? Get into the comments below. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new. Check out SofaScore. We'll see you later.